Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The UN says its peacekeepers will stay in their positions in southern Lebanon despite repeated demands by Israel that they should move out of the way of its forces there. Lebanon says at least 21 people have been killed and 8 others injured in a rare Israeli strike in the north of the country. The strike hit a residential building in Aito, a mainly Christian village far from the areas where Israel has carried out strikes targeting Hezbollah. Israel says it is examining the incident.
This is a message to the people of Lebanon.
Meanwhile, the Washington Post reports that Israel's Prime Minister has told the Biden administration he was willing to opt for a more limited counterstrike in response to this month's missile attack by Iran. In Gaza, the UN has condemned the large number of civilian casualties caused by Israeli strikes on the north of the enclave in recent days. The Pentagon has confirmed it is sending a high-altitude anti-missile system operated by US troops to Israel. Officials say the Terminal High-Altitude Area Defense Battery will bolster Israeli air defenses against Iran's missile attack on the country earlier this month. President Joe Biden has said it is meant to defend Israel, which is still expected to retaliate against the Iranian strike involving more than 180 ballistic missiles fired at Israel on October the 1st. India and Canada have expelled their top diplomats amid escalating tensions over the assassination of a Sikh separatist on Canadian soil.
Agents of the government of India were directly involved in the killing of a Canadian citizen.
While past disagreements have strained ties, none have reached this level of open confrontation. The tit-for-tat expulsions followed Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's claim that Canadian police were investigating allegations of Indian agents' direct involvement in the June 2023 killing. Canadian police further accused Indian agents of involvement in homicides, extortion and violent acts, targeting pro-Khalistan supporters advocating a separate Sikh homeland in India. Delhi rejected the allegations as preposterous. Footage released by South Korea's Ministry of National Defense shows the moment North Korea has blown up roads connecting it to South Korea. It comes after Pyongyang vowed last week to cut off the roads and railways once seen as symbols of inter-Korean cooperation in a bid to completely separate the two countries. The Korean People's Army described the move as a self-defensive measure for inhibiting war, claiming it was in response to war exercises in South Korea. It marks an escalation of hostility at a time when tensions between the Koreas are at their highest point in years. Russian authorities say they've rescued a man whose tiny boat drifted for 67 days since August in waters edging the northwestern Pacific. Social media images showed a thin, bearded man wearing a hooded jacket and orange emergency vest in a catamaran-like sailboat, flying a red flag from a small pole. The regional prosecutor's office, charged with handling transport issues, said 2 other people on board had died during the ordeal. The boat was finally sighted by fishermen near a village off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula. A spacecraft that will hunt for signs of alien life on one of Jupiter's icy moons has blasted off from Cape Canaveral in Florida.
And liftoff. Liftoff of Falcon Heavy with Europa Clipper.
NASA launched the spacecraft at 12:06 local time after Hurricane Milton forced the mission to postpone plans last week. Europa Clipper will now travel 1.8 billion miles to reach Europa, a deeply mysterious moon orbiting Jupiter. It will not arrive until 2030, but what it finds could change what we know about life in our solar system. Trapped under the moon's surface could be a vast ocean with double the amount of water on Earth. And a long-period comet that returns to the inner solar system just once in 80,000 years has been caught on camera. The Shinchan Atlas comet was filmed by a local astrophotography enthusiast in the Russian town of Kamsk-Uralsky in the Ural region. Here, the comet seen in the sky over Qinghai Lake, China's largest inland saltwater lake, and here streaking across the North Macedonian sky. The comet is expected to be visible through until the end of October. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.